Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City. Whether you're joining us now on Zoom or tuning in later on Facebook, Insta, X, or YouTube, you're welcome. Glad you're here with us. So let's begin with this evening's healing lesson. It's entitled Healing is a Decision. This class is about something many of us forget about when our life gets loud or busy, and uh, we all get busy at times. And this is a class for us when everything feels like it's just a bit too much. So we forget that deep down at the center of our being, we already have everything we need. Louise would say, deep at the center of your being, there's this infinite well of love. So you have within you what you need to recover, to rise, and to succeed in every and any area of your life. You have the power to heal your life, not just improve it, but to heal it, not just to manage it, not just to cope with it, but you have the power to heal your life. You have the ability to create a real shift. You have the ability to be made new from the inside out. This is one of the most important things Louise Hay ever taught us. And yes, it can sound a bit like a big promise, but she lived it herself. And even more importantly, she watched other people do the same thing. She wrote in her book, "The point of power is always in the present moment." That means healing doesn't have to wait. It doesn't have to wait, and you don't have to learn or figure everything out. You don't have to fix the past or predict the future. You simply need to begin where you are right now, right here, right now. You begin with the thought you're thinking and choosing a new one, the next one. Think of an area of your life. It could be your body, it could be something emotional, it could be some area of your life where you'd like to see some healing or some peace. You don't have to say it out loud, but you can just think of it, just identify it in your mind, your heart, and bring this area that you'd like to see improvement into the light of your awareness without any judgment. And in a moment, we're going to affirm something new. But first, let's ask ourselves, what thought have I been carrying about this situation? So whatever is bothering you, then what have you been thinking about? Maybe it's like, this will never work. I'm always tired. Maybe it's nothing works for me, or things are very difficult, or I can't change, or I'm too old to change, or it could be other types of thoughts. Maybe I just don't feel well. But we want to flip the script, or in other words, turn it all around in this class. We're making healing decisions tonight, right here and right now. So repeat this with me. I'm going to do it a couple times. It's an affirmation. I'm filled with vibrant energy every day. Again, if you say it like you mean it, I'm filled with vibrant energy every day. We can do it a third time. I am filled with vibrant energy every day. How does that feel in your body? Take it in when you say that. Let yourself connect with the words. How does that feel in your body? What happens when we stop? I mean, absolutely stop repeating the old story. You know the old stories I'm talking about. What happens when we stop? You know the one that you complain about a lot? Might be a worry thought or a concern about someone who's just continually doing things that are upsetting. What happens when you stop worrying about them? What happens if you just let them go or let it go? As soon as you can do that, great things will begin to happen. What happens when you let the complaint or the worry or the person that's been going over in your head over and over again 100 times? What happens when we just set it down, even for a moment, and start to live as if a new truth could be real? And what if, instead of saying nothing ever works out, this is hopeless, nothing works out for me, what if you instead said, I am supplied, I am supported, or I'm supported, I'm supplied? Just this shift in your thinking and in your language begins to create a space. And that space is where healing begins. So take a moment just to notice, is there a new thought emerging? Something lighter, better? Could be around a person or a situation or your health or anything. What new thought? Something kinder. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's letting go of something, someone. Maybe there's a new way, something that could be more kind or helpful and hopeful. So if you're in a quiet space, let it come to you and speak it out loud. If you happen to be in motion, say it to yourself. If you're near your keyboard, you could type it in to the chat. Whatever it is, your new thought might be exactly what somebody else needs to hear today. So put it in the chat if you want. So I'm inviting everyone to cultivate that little bit of willingness in this class to be open, because I want you to start being able to make some healing decisions. So let's have a willingness to try. Let's have a willingness to speak differently, a willingness to let go, situation, thing, person, someone's behavior, something that seems to be bothering you. Let's have a willingness to say something different, say something affirming, even if it feels awkward. Willingness to see something good in a situation that really doesn't look good to you. Louise said, every thought we think is creating our life, it's creating our future. And that's not just a comforting idea, it also happens to be a spiritual law. Your thoughts are like seeds, your words are like water. The moment you become willing, you start planning something new. So Louise often described affirmations as prayers in action. They're not prayers of desperation, but each and every affirmation is a declaration of alignment. She wrote, an affirmation opens the door. It's the beginning point on the pathway to change. So that means when you're speaking affirmations, you're not pretending everything's perfect. You're saying, I'm willing to open the door. And you're letting life know, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm willing to open the door, and I'm choosing to participate in my own healing. Ernest Holmes, again, author of their textbook, on page 190 said, prayer is a mental attitude. So you want to be open and willing, right? Prayer is a mental attitude. He said, prayer is a way of thinking and believing that connects us to the law of love. So we want to align ourselves with the law of love. We want to have a little bit of what? Willingness. We're making a decision. Healing is a decision. In simpler terms, prayer is a direction you choose to face. Of course, we can go towards faith or fear. You can face the fear, or you can face what's possible. You can spiral downward with all the old stories and resentments and anger and all the ways we beat ourselves up. We can spiral down, of course, or we can speak the true thing with love. See, we're truth students. So we're here to see the God in the good. That's our job. As much as we can, we redirect our conversations towards seeing the light and the love. And here's the beautiful part. When you do it, it doesn't have to be out loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic, your affirmations. They simply need to be real. Louise was very specific when she said, affirmations work the best when they're positive, when you say them in the present tense, and when you say them with feeling. You don't say like, oh, I hope this gets better. You'll do it in the present tense. You'll say, I am healing now. I am safe now, right here, right now. I'm open to the good that life has for me now. So let's practice it a moment together. Wherever you are, repeat this out loud or to yourself in your heart. I am in perfect harmony with the healing power of the universe. Again, I am in perfect harmony with the healing power of the universe. That's a good one. I'm in perfect harmony with the healing power of the universe. Take a breath, bring that into your being. Know that you're in perfect harmony. Now, you might not feel that harmony right away. You may not see it reflected in your life right away either. And that's okay. You're not affirming what's happening. You are affirming what you are inviting into your life right now. That's perfect harmony. That's the power of spiritual practice. You speak it before you see it. Important. You speak it before you see it. You declare it until you live it. Ernest Holmes reminds us we must know the truth and declare it until we see it demonstrated. So that's an important line from our textbook. You must know the truth, you must feel it and sense it, and declare it until you see it demonstrated. So here's a little something to carry with you into the week. Sometime tonight, or maybe tomorrow, take a quiet moment wherever you can. Just capture a couple moments, take that pause, take a moment, write down an affirmation that'll work for you, that'll work for your healing. Make it something that feels believable, something exciting, something expansive. I've got a couple examples. You could say, I'm learning to trust myself. Or you could say, I'm becoming stronger each and every day. One of the old time ones, I'm getting stronger and better every day. I'm open. Another is, I'm open to unexpected good. Now, you probably have others that will work well for you. I used to work, this is God in my life. That would be anything. I was training myself to see that the good that God is everywhere present. So that was an affirmation. Or I'm supplied and supported. I think I use endlessly. But whatever it is that works for you, just pick one that's good, that you can say with passion. Write it on a sticky note that you use them, or put it on your iPhone or your messages, someplace where you're going to be reminded. Say it daily, say it often, say it loud. Say it with a little bit of passion or emotion, even if it feels awkward, because the more you speak it, the more you say it, you're doing more than just talking. You're training your mind to follow love. You're shifting your energy from survival and just getting by to receptivity. You're choosing the voice of healing over the voice of fear. So when we do this, we're making these declarations. We're not hoping things will get better anymore. What we're doing is we're participating in our own healing. So let's say one more together before we move forward. I am the thinker of my own thoughts. I choose words that heal. Yeah, I like that one when I put the lesson together. I am the thinker of my own thoughts. I choose words that heal. Louise said, you have within you all the wisdom and all the power you need to heal your life. Ernest Holmes echoes this on page 191 of the textbook, where he says, the spirit within each of us is God, and God is perfection. Again, on page 191. The spirit within each of us is God, is source, and God is perfection. And what does that mean? It means that we're not trying to become something holy. We already are. Our job simply is to remember, to live from that place of remembrance. Healing then is less about fixing ourselves, and it's more about revealing to ourselves what's already true. It's more about peeling back all the layers of fear and doubt, worry, criticism, all that conditioning, and letting the truth of who we are come forward and shine through again and again. It's within every person, and within every person is a spiritual self that's whole, beautiful, healthy, and complete. And our work, our real spiritual work here, isn't about becoming something. It's removing all that stuff, those layers that are covering it up. That's why Louise said self-love isn't vanity. She said it's sanity. That's a good line. Self-love isn't vanity when you do the mirror work. It's sanity. It's remembering how great thou art. It's learning to love yourself more and more. It's how we come home to ourselves. It's to realize the power within. So let me ask this question gently. What if you're not waiting to become whole because you already are whole? What if the part of you that's strong and wise has been there all along, just waiting for you to listen and to discover? What if the fear, the pain, the old story or stories have only covered up what's already true? What if this is your moment, your chance to remember who you really are? So let's take a moment to go there together. If you're in a place where you can close your eyes, go ahead. If not, just listen and picture this in your mind. Let's take a slow breath together and another. And I'd like you to imagine a warm golden light surrounding you. It's beautiful. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's coming from within you. It's safe. It's very comforting. It's beautiful. And it's ancient. Now see the most healed, radiant version of yourself. Gaze upon it, the most healed, radiant version of yourself, your perfect self. Look at it standing in front of you. My goodness, look what it looks like. Look how it stands and how it moves. Notice the energy it carries. This is the you that already knows I'm enough. I'm whole. I'm safe to be seen. Now imagine this version of you stepping forward gently, lovingly. And imagine it stepping forward toward you, emerging with you. Notice, see the essence of it fill your whole being, your body, your thoughts, your cells with light. Breathe it all in. Know that it's one with you. You're not trying to become this version. You are this version. You're just remembering. And that remembering, that claiming of your inner self is a decision. Judith Wright, in her book, The One Decision, said it best. The one decision that changes everything is the decision to live as your highest self. You don't need to wait to feel ready. You don't have to wait until the pain goes away. You can decide right now, and here's the decision for tonight. I will live from the truth of who I really am. Again, I will live from the truth of who I really am. Now, Raymond Charles Barker, the author, was the founder of this church, New York, and he put it this way, very boldly. He said, a definite decision wipes confusion from the mind and establishes peace. So here's our moment, our glorious moment. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to fix everything or anyone. We just simply need to choose a new idea, a better idea. And we want to decide that healing is possible, that the best of you is not behind you, but ahead of you and within you. Because if you truly believed that, then how would you move through your day today? How would you speak to yourself if you really believe this? How would you treat your body, your heart, your mind? Now, you don't have to answer that question, but let that question linger within you. What would it be? What would living from my perfect self feel like, look like? So let's collectively take in a breath. And we're coming back. If your eyes were closed, you could open them. And let's hold that energy together for a moment more. So in our gatherings, we're not pretending everything's okay all the time. What we're doing is we're trusting that something within you is already perfect, whole, and complete. Let's affirm this reality together. When I say there is a perfect self within me, and I am learning to live from it. Again, there is a perfect self within me, and I'm learning to live from it. It's a beautiful, beautiful affirmation. There's a perfect self within me, and I'm learning to live from it. So again, maybe it's not about having to try anything harder. Maybe it's about trusting what's already there, giving it permission to lead. Spirit's always attempting to get your attention. Maybe today the decision is to allow it to. You don't need to go searching for healing in far off places. I've said that in just about every lesson. The spark is already lit. All we're doing today is learning to fan that flame a little bit. In this teaching, we know that we are authors of our own experience. We are the deciders. And we know that there's power for good in the universe, and then we can use it. And we intend to use it wisely and to live from this deeper place, this deeper connection. And it requires more than us just hoping and waiting. It begins with a little bit of willingness, yes, but it also requires a decision. And for some of us, that decision needs to be made daily. We begin to see healing isn't just one method, one formula, one miracle moment. It's a lot of different things. It's a tapestry. It's a blend of practices, insights, steps that we take with intention and with self-respect. It'll be different things also for different people. Louise never said, use affirmations and skip the doctor. She said, every experience can be part of your healing journey. That includes going to doctors sometimes. It often includes taking medicines. It sometimes includes seeing a therapist or moving your body or eating different food or finally saying no to something that's been draining your energy. Spiritual people sometimes forget this. We do affirmative prayer. We do affirmative prayer treatment, as we say, but we also need to move our feet and take action sometimes. And that's part of what we mean when we talk about affirmative prayer and science of mind. We declare the truth and then we live from it. Again, we declare the truth, then we have to move our feet. We need to live from it. We need to practice it. We inquire within, we take our pause, and then we take a step. Ernest Holmes, on page 191 of the textbook, said, anything that reduces suffering is good and has its place in the whole. So if a prescription brings you comfort, bless it. If therapy helps you release grief, honor it. If taking long walks in nature restores your peace, let that happen. Spiritual practice is not about avoiding any of these tools. It's about using them consciously, using them with love, knowing you're making choices. Because once you remember that you are whole, that you are one with this incredible energy, you stop asking, will this fix me? And you start asking, what can I do? What will support me living as my highest self? So let's go a little deeper before we wrap this up. Right now in your mind, begin building your own healing toolbox. Maybe it includes affirmative prayer. Maybe it includes some meditation, stillness, whole foods. Maybe it includes being a part of this supportive community, some movement, some journaling, some taking some boundaries or having some boundaries, some laughter, some quiet time. Maybe it's a digital detox. Maybe you need to add something new this week to your list. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment you've been avoiding. Maybe it's getting to bed earlier. Maybe it's reaching out to some people that you need to. So now, all of us, let's just choose one thing from your inner list that you're willing to say yes to this week. One action, one step, one gesture of support for yourself, right? For your own well-being. And let it be born in you from love, not obligation. Let it be your way of saying today to yourself, I'm worth the care I give myself. So think of a thing. You can put it in the chat or talk about it later. So whatever it is, let's affirm it now and say, I'm worth the care I give myself. I'm worth the care I give myself because you are. And because healing isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing. It's about building a relationship with your own life and then showing up for the relationship with love and clarity. You're not trying again to fix what's broken. You're only learning to honor what is whole, and that's you. And that's where the healing begins. You've heard it said in many ways, change your thinking, change your life. But what does that actually mean? In religious science, we understand through something called the law of mind, also known as the creative process. That's where we learn it. Ernest Holmes put it this way in our textbook when he said, the spirit knows and the law obeys. What does that mean? It means you're constantly planting seeds in a spiritual field, and that field will never argue with you. It doesn't reject your thoughts. It doesn't say, are you sure? It simply takes what you give it and it multiplies it. Louise echoed this in a different voice when she said, every thought you think is creating your future. Every time you say, I can't catch a break, this won't work, I'm too old to change. Anytime you say things like this, you're planting seeds. The law of mind is impersonal, it's neutral, and it's always at work. We really want to pay attention to our dialogue and what we're saying. You don't have to make anything work. You don't have to beg it to respond. It's already here. It's already responding. But here's the part we sometimes miss. The law does not discriminate. It demonstrates. That's from our textbook. The law doesn't discriminate, it demonstrates. So whether you're affirming your power or you're rehearsing your fears, something's taking root. So we, of course, want to be affirming our power. That's why Louise was so focused on affirmations. Not as fluff, not as just nice ideas, but as intentional instructions to the universe. You're not just thinking positive thoughts. You're setting a direction for yourself. You're declaring to life and you're saying, this is what I'm available for. Every time you say I'm supplied and supported, you're saying to Spirit, this is what I am available for. So how do we use this process more wisely? Well, we start by watching what we say. Uh, we start becoming conscious of what we're impressing upon the law, because we're impressing something every day, whether we mean to or not. And it's not ever about doing everything in a perfect way. It's simply about being a little bit more awake, paying attention, taking those pauses that we talk about more often, becoming more aware. Uh, Maybe today you're ready to speak differently. Uh, so this may be the day. Willingness comes first. Once you have the willingness, then you get to make a decision, and then you can think a new thought, and then you can have a shift. So as we begin to wind down this lesson, let's take a breath and think of an area in our life, any area where we're ready to experience something better, and speak it out loud into your heart, whatever it is. Maybe it's more harmony in some area. And then you can say to yourself, I'm planting new seeds in the law of mind, and they're growing into good. Again, I'm planting new seeds into the law of mind, and they're growing into good. Again, you don't have to force anything. Your job is to impress. Your job, Ernest Holmes would say, is the impression. And the law's job is the expression. So that's kind of clever. Your job is to impress upon consciousness. And the law's job is to express. So you give it the seed and then it will grow it. The law's job is expression. So give it something good to work with. Let your thoughts become blessings. Let your words become prayers. Let your decisions become directions. Because once you know how it works, you stop feeling like life is happening to you, and you start remembering that life is responding through you. So there's no convincing. You don't have to impress spirit. In other words, it's responding to every thought you think. It's listening. So let me wrap this all up for us tonight. Tonight we've remembered something powerful. We remember that we're not helpless, that healing is not out of reach, and that the voice we use with ourselves, the dialogue that we have within, is the life we're creating. We've learned that willingness is the doorway. We've learned that affirmations are not just words, but spiritual declarations. And the perfect self that we've been seeking is already here. It's already within us, waiting to be lived. We've remembered that healing is a daily decision, one we make by treating ourselves with love, choosing tools with awareness, and speaking truth into the law of mind. So let's take a moment or two now to anchor it all in with a prayer. Wherever you are, wherever is comfortable, close your eyes, let your body soften. There's nothing within you that needs to be solved or fixed. There's only this moment filled with light, love, breath. Imagine that same golden light we touched earlier, gentle, the glowing presence beginning to fill the space all around you. It flows towards you, through you, and enters the top of your head, filling your heart, moving through your arms, your legs. This is the light of wholeness, the light of inner truth. And from this place, hear the words, not as distant affirmations, but as the voice of your own self speaking back to you. I'm whole. I'm whole. I'm healing. I'm enough. I am the thinker of my thoughts, and I choose thoughts that heal. Again, I am the thinker of my thoughts, and I choose thoughts that heal. Now breathe that in. Let's say it aloud together, just once to close this timing unity. I am whole. I am healing. I am enough. Okay. Bring yourself back to this moment, carrying that energy. Let tonight's experience stay with you. Let it echo in the hours and the days ahead. You don't need, again, to do anything. You don't need to rush. You just let yourself remember the truth you touched here this evening. You made a choice, a simple, quiet decision to be open to healing, and that changes everything. So let's seal it with an affirmative prayer right here and right now. I recognize that there is one power. I recognize there is one power of choice within me, and I choose life. I choose healing. I choose to remember the source of good, and I choose to remember it's in me, operating through me right now. And from this choice, new doors open, new paths reveal themselves, and a new life begins. I give thanks. I release this, and so it is. So thank you all for being with us tonight for our discussion. Our class on healing is a decision. Thank you. We're going to turn the cameras over to you. If you're new, please let us welcome you. Say hello, where you're from. So that's it for me. I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody. And so it is. Thank you.